EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of Bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carr right away going to look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. Finding space at the 40. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The catch and run good for 24 yards. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path. A significant number.
Well, boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. The Steelers at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Carr. And he whips that one incomplete there. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
93. 93. 808.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll run it for the first time with David Pierce. And he'll get this up to about the 40. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Here's Watson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. He went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce to the 27-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
From the gun, here's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. T.J. Hockenson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point attempt to come here. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take over at their own 41.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Houston.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be sterner with it, but whatever it's going to take to get the...
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, When a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 21-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jalen Petrie picks it up, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. Touchdown, Texans. T.J. Hawkinson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans continue to pull away here in this first half. The extra point up and good. And it is 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the 6. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
What now?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? If is kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Carr completes it, fights through it, and he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Carr. And my goodness, another interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Another carry for Pierce. And it's a fumble. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Boswell good with the extra point. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. Touchdown! Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Take it in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr going to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Looking deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw, Watson.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable, or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the gun, it's Carr.
Open man, that's the tight end, Freiermuth. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake. Carr. And now here is another interception.
And the Texans are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again is Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. The Bills, they're just pouring it on in that one. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today. Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
And they'll accept that penalty.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously, a lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete to Freiermuth.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Harris. A solid stiff arm. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. He could only get a yard after all that. It's 2nd down.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field? And they find each other for the completion.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. He gets it complete to Harris.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Play action, now it's Carr. This will be caught just inside the 10.
And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as he's out of bounds at the 2. The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock.
They'll try and run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers get a bit closer.
Carr will look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Right? That's true. You've said that before. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA.
Fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Here's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Returnable for Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They were looking to throw, holding in the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Here's Carr to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. Now Carr, got to have this one. Quick completion here to Johnson. And the Steelers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on the stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Going to need something special here on third and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? He'll look to throw. This will be complete to Mechie. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Here we go on fourth. Watson. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Levi Wallace with a pick. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
We have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 30 yards. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point now by Boswell. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game, the interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he loses the football a second time. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Partner, that would look like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, you know, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Carr now on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 176 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go again with Pierce. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A give left side for Pierce. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Watson now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
On fourth down, Watson. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Fix the score, Texans 49, Steelers 34.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Christian Harris. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Second and goal from the one. Once more, it's Pierce. And he's in for the score. Touchdown.